journey, you are welcome here. For those of you joining us online, we are so glad you are here with us. If you are visiting with us today, we invite you to sign our visitor's book, which is at the back of the living room there. And members and friends, to help folks connect, remember to wear your name tags with your pronoun stickers. And if you need a new name tag, you can request one in the living room. I am Susan Morrison Hebel. My pronouns are she and her. I'm pleased to be with you as worship associate today. Our music today will be provided by Carolyn May. Thank you, Carolyn. And the celebration singers. I heard them practice. They are awesome as usual. This is an intergenerational service, but there's also a gathering space and activities in the living room for children and adults of all ages. So if anybody gets a little fidgety and wants to go back there, you're more than welcome. All voices are welcome here in our church. There's always a lot going on around church, and you can read all about it in News and Notes, which arrives in your inbox every Friday, and there are printed copies available. If you would like to receive News and Notes, stop by the welcome desk back there. I do have one special event that I want to make sure everybody knows about. On September 28th, Saturday, our church, in partnership with DuPage UU, is holding a climate justice renewal, and everyone's invited. It's a way for all of us to get together, share our concerns, build our enthusiasm, and come up with ways to work together to square off against the climate crisis and bring some justice for those people who are most harmed by the climate and pollution and other damage to the environment. And then that Sunday, September 29th, is part 2, with the church service in the morning and with more commitment after church. And a lot of us have participated in actions to help the environment, especially the climate, justice actions and political actions. It's easy to conclude that we've done what we can, and there is sometimes a sense that we've done all that we can. However, one of the aims of this revival is to break through that by finding entirely new ways to think about and talk about what we can do, and to work collaboratively with other people. We can find then entirely new goals and fresh ways to reach them. So mark your calendars for September 28th and 29th. We acknowledge that we in the western suburbs inhabit areas that are the traditional territories of indigenous peoples, including the Kickapoo, Peoria, Kaskaskia, Potawatomi, and others. As people trying to live into a more just world, we have a responsibility to acknowledge the history and legacy of colonialism, the harm done to Native peoples, and also work to repair that harm.
Thank you so much, Susan. It is good to be with you. I am the Reverend Dr. Beth Johnson. My pronouns are she, they, and I want to add my warm welcome to all of you on this Ingathering Sunday. Ingathering is the beginning of the program church year, the time when we come back from vacations. If you were fortunate enough to have one, and not everyone gets to have vacations, kids are back in school, and we begin our program year together on this, always the Sunday after Labor Day. So it is good to be with all of you. One of the things that this congregation does is partner with organizations that really embody our values. And this is an exciting Sunday for me because in September is when we share our plate with the Austin Scholarship Program. And we've got folks from Third Unitarian in Chicago, which is our sister church. So we're very glad that you're here. Woo! Roberta, 97 years young. Oh, remind me of your name. Portia, sorry, who's visiting also with the scholars from the United Methodist Church. And we have the Guns who are here, who are going to talk about about the Austin Scholarship Program. And what this means is today, you will, at the offering, which is actually taking place at the end of the service today, you're going to have time to think about how much you would like to support this incredible program by our dear neighbors. And then you can donate throughout the month as well through the website. So come on up and tell us about the program.
Ooh. Come on, Roberta. Roberta is now 97 and getting younger each year. So it makes it easy for me. We're the co-chairs of the Austin Scholars Award Program. That's, as it says on our logo that we just made this year, it's our 50th anniversary. So for 50 years in a row, we've tried to honor scholars, high school seniors from Chicago Public Schools in the Austin community, which you know is just to the east of Oak Park. And so that's where our church is. And Roberta helped back in the day in '74. She helped found this important committee. So it's a committee just like you all have committees here. And thank you again, Reverend Dr. Beth, for your nice introduction. We are a sister church. And so we've been partners with you for well over 10 years. We include you in all of our notices, and because we can't thank you enough. And we have our new brochure that has our new logo as well, that has your name in it too. But Roberta helped found it back in '74 with the principal from the Austin High School and the librarian and some other people from church. To recognize, as we all know, the importance of college education. And I know I took it for granted growing up. I went to New Trier. Lynn went to Hinsdale Central. And you know, that was our next step. And they call it higher education, you know, to take it to that next level and really wrestle with knowledge, information, thought, critical thinking. So that's what we're trying to help these students do. And in many cases, they are kind of a first time, you know, going to college, and they have things that are distracting them, as you can imagine, you know, from really focusing on that. So we work with them through the first freshman year into sophomore year, and so just to help them get that strong foundation in college. And then it's not just the money we give, which is the $1,500 plus now we've started a Valentine gift. You know, to show them a little love on Valentine's. But it's also that encouragement and helping them work through some of this transition to, you know, college, which is studying. So we try to get 20 scholars a year, and this year we had 20, but one already went. He got a manufacturing job over the summer. And so those kinds of things happen, you know, where they need, you know, just to make sure that they feel supported in college and like go for it. And maybe you can try it for at least a year. And it's not only the four-year colleges. We can help people start in the city colleges too, just somewhere where it's a degree program and they can see themselves, you know, finishing that. So. But I would like to give at least Roberta a moment because she's come all the way out here, 97, and it's like we're going to keep coming back for another 50 years, right, Roberta? All right, so she'll give you a little shout out here.
I just want to say thank you, thank you, thank you. 97 years. I don't want to fall. I want to thank you all for supporting this scholarship. I didn't have the opportunity that the young people have today. I want to be sure that if I can help somebody, daughter or son, to go to college, to get an education, it's very, very important to me. I went to what they call a one-room chicken shack, and that's what we call the and it was something, but I learned. And I always felt like if somebody helped me to get this far, I'm going to help them go a little further. So I want to thank each and every one of you all for supporting the scholarship at Third Unitarian Church. So I want you to look up under the bed and in the corner and in the book bag. And if you have some money that you don't know what to do with, just send it to Third Church at TUC Scholarships. And I want to thank you for supporting this program. And we've been doing this since 1974. Dr. King, Dr. Buell, and Mr. William, and several other people who support it, and why I'm in this program, and I love it, I love it, I love it. And so just don't forget, if you got a dollar, nickel, penny, you don't know what to do with it, said Third Church, TUC Scholarships, and thank you very much.
And I just wanted to also remember the Hulberts, Jim and Jane, who I know have moved to the Boston area, but they keep in touch with us, and they help out at our annual Scholars Ceremony, which is right at the end of the school year. We have a nice ceremony this year. Mayor Brandon Johnson came, and the local alderpersons. So we're trying to attract that attention as well. Brandon Johnson was already our Cook County Commissioner, so it was an easy carryover, and he knows Roberta well from Chicago Teachers Union, because Roberta is a 50-year, a 34-year, 35-year, and I'm also a Chicago public school teacher as well, elementary. So it means a lot to me when I see these students, you know, because you keep telling them when they're younger, you believe in yourself, you can do it, stay strong, you know, keep with it. And then to see them when they're senior, like keeping that attitude, like I'm gonna go for this, because we all know college is a big step. And so, like I said, we try not only give them the funds, but we give them the moral support too. So again, thank you all, and we will certainly be here after church. We have, like I said, our new brochure. We have our website, austinscholars.org, which is where I think you got that our handy new logo. But again, thank you for giving us this time. And like I said, we're a sister church, just another committee like you. All of the funds do go to the scholars. If we have any other expenses, like for our social, our social gathering this holiday season, we just make sure we take care of that all on the side, so that everything goes to helping them with their scholarships. So enough said. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Steve. Steve? I wasn't able to make your gathering in May. I was very disappointed because I had another commitment. But y'all, just let's remember that this is a sister church, not far from us, and we can think about ways that we can continue to support this program. So remember, you can do it all month. You can go online, look at the donate button, and even as we get ready for the offering at the end of the service, you know, you can check in the bottom of your pockets and the bottom of your purse and whatever. So thank you, beloveds. I'm so glad you're here. And I am so glad all of you are here. Welcome, welcome again as we begin our worship service. The theme for this month is the practice of invitation. And the theme for the year, we participate in a theme-based ministry, is living love through the practice of. And every month will be living love through varieties of practices. And today it's the practice of invitation. Because as we begin and we gather, it's energetically, I feel the shift, even though it was so cool yesterday and today, and we know this week it's going to be like 80. We know that fall is here, and it is the time to shift energetically, to just say, oh, okay, kind of like what is the next thing as the light changes. And we do gather back in different ways once school has started and once we're settling into another routine. So I am indeed so glad you're here. Y'all, received little strips of paper. Did you get a strip of paper? Raise your hand if you did not. Okay. The ushers are going to give you your little strips of paper. Keep your hands up. You're going to need them later on in the service, but we want to make sure you have a strip of paper and you have your pens, because you're going to see that it says you are invited to. And so this service is really about inviting us to imagine how we invite, oh my goodness, not to torture the metaphor too badly. So this is a participatory service, and we'll make sure that everyone gets a chance, no matter mobility issues or whatever, to participate, in this service. So when I greeted my friends from Third Unitarian, I just shouted, "I'm so glad you're here." And kind of fits with the song that we're singing. The first song we're going to sing this morning is "I'm So Glad I'm Here." And there's part of me that sometimes wants to change the words and say, "I'm so glad you're here." So not to mess anybody up, but if you're singing it and you look at your neighbor, and instead of saying, "I'm so glad I'm here," you can say, "I'm so glad you're here," and nobody's going to care if you do it that way, right? So I do want to thank the celebration singers, Director Julia Beckman, and so glad that Carolyn May is available to accompany us today. Our music director, Jamie Passman, had some eye surgery. He's doing fine, and we expect him back soon. But in the meantime, I'm just so glad y'all are here. So I invite you to rise in body or spirit, and let us sing. So happy to be in worship this morning, not only with Susan, but also with Pam Fodor, who's our Director of Programs. Hey, Pam, what are your pronouns?
She and hers.
All right, there we go.
Yeah.
We're going to call us into worship this morning with words by Reverend Joan Javier Duval. You are beloved, and you are welcome here.
Whether tears have fallen from your eyes this past week, or gleeful laughter has spilled out of your smiling mouth.
You are beloved, and you are welcome here.
Whether you are feeling brave or brokenhearted, defiant or defeated, fearsome or fearful.
You are welcome here. You are beloved, and you are welcome here.
Whether you have untold stories buried deep inside, or stories that have been forced beyond the edges of comfort.
You are beloved, and you are welcome here.
Whether you have made promises, broken promises, or are renewing your promises.
You are beloved, and you are welcome here.
Whatever is on your heart, however it is with your soul in this moment,
You are beloved, and you are welcome here.
in this space of welcome and acceptance, commitment and recommitment, of covenant and connection, let us worship together.
Thank you.
Our chalice lighting words by the Reverend Gretchen Haley are an invitation to draw a wider circle to light a flame. In a world that feeds on moral outrage, we are here to cultivate moral courage. In a time that prizes picking sides, we gather to draw a wider circle. And in a culture that teaches us to get for what we give and to ask what's in it for me, we come to practice generosity and to remember we are all in this together. In the midst of life's bitterness, we choose to sing, to give thanks, to laugh together, and to be keepers of beauty, to offer a place of belonging for all who come, in gladness and in pain, to resist the push to the next moment and the next slowdown, to breathe more deeply, to feel a part of something greater for this hour. And in this space, let us be the change we wish to see.
So I love the chalice lighting that invites us to bring all of who we are and our call to worship, that reminds us that we can come whether we've made promises, broken promises, or renewing our promises. James Luther Adam, a Unitarian Universalist ethicist and historian and theologian, quoted Martin Buber, who was a theologian as well. Humans are promise-making, promise-breaking, and promise-keeping beings. The song that we're going to sing right now is an invitation. It's an invitation to come however you are. This is an adaptation from a poem by Rumi. And there's a descant that we don't sing that says, though you've broken your vows 1,000 times, come yet again, come. So as we continue our ingathering this morning, I invite you to rise in body or spirit, and we'll sing Come, Come, Whoever You Are. And Carolyn, we'll sing it about 3 times and just gather ourselves in.
Good morning. I get to add my welcome. It's so fun to sit up here and look out on all your faces. My story today is called The Circles All Around Us, and I have to thank my friend Paula for introducing me to this book. And I think she gifted it to me. That's the best kind of book, it's one that's gifted to you. So the pictures will be on the screen, but if you would like to come up and be a little bit closer, you are welcome. Everybody's like, "Mom." Oops. We begin by drawing a circle. on the ground along each shoe. A safe little place for just one person. Nobody in this circle but you. You could keep that circle closed to everyone but yourself, but that would be like a library with just one book on the shelf. I would not like that. So let's draw a bigger circle for you and your family to share. Now you see what all can happen in a circle full of care. It becomes a happier circle as more loved ones come to stay. And wouldn't it be even better if all your friends could come and play? So you stretch and you draw your circle even bigger than it's been. And let a few more people know they're welcome to come in. In the circles all around us, everywhere that we all go, there's a difference we can make and a love we all can show. Yet, there are still so many outside the circle who are different in all they do. Though it feels slightly uncomfortable, we draw a bigger circle for them too. It doesn't mean the circle is easy. It can get harder the more we share. But wonderful things can happen when love is known and felt everywhere. I don't know if you can read that, but it says, "Friendship donuts." As time passes, our eyes open. We see others we really care for. And that's when we ask ourselves, well, what's this circle really there for? So let us create bigger circles all around us for the rest of our days. Let our caring ripple out in million little ways. In the circles all around us, everywhere that we all go, there's a difference we can make and a love we can all show. As our circles grow and grow and grow, and we watch them wonder-eyed, remember, the first circle started with just the love you hold inside. Amen and blessed be.
Amen. Can I get amen for that, y'all? Yeah, really, can we get an amen for circles inside of love that starts with us? I mean, come on, right? Absolutely. Well, Paula, thanks for gifting Pam with that, and Pam for sharing it with us. So we are creating in this space, not only today, but ongoing, creating a circle of invitation, living love through invitation. This is an opportunity as we begin our church year. If you're visiting today, you're going to be invited to engage with the activity in whatever way, really works best for you. But we're going to create, what do you think we're going to create? Chains, good, because you all have papers, right? Okay, do me a favor, wave your papers. Okay, keep them up. Keep your papers up. All right, good job, thank you. All right, you got your papers. Can you imagine what you're gonna do with those papers? You're gonna write on them. So This is an invitation for you to make an invitation for yourself or for someone else. So we have some ideas. You can go ahead and I'll read these for you. Here's some ideas. You can join the choir, Julia says. You can attend a UU theology class that I'm going to teach this year. You could bring a friend to church. How many of you have brought a friend to church ever? You know what? That's how people get to church a lot of times. The website used to be BeliefNet, or they bring a friend. You can think about living love as a practice. You could talk to someone new at coffee hour, unless you're an introvert, in which case you can just stand there, and if you're holding a green mug, someone will talk to you. But don't worry if you're an introvert. There's no pressure there. You can participate in our auction, which is coming up. You can work on our fabulous grounds. You can take a walk with me on the grounds. You can come to our Friday Faith Fellowship Fun Nights, and I'm very excited about those. First one is in October, and that's just a way for us to gather, have dinner together, have a very short worship service, and then do activities together. So that's some things you can do. You can take or teach a class. You can join a social justice group. You can tell someone that you appreciate them. You can do something kind for someone. You can talk to a plant. You can knit a care shawl. You can send a card to someone that you haven't seen in a while. You can cook a meal for a meal train, and we've got a meal train going on right now for one of our beloveds, Caden. And you can bring a goodie for coffee hour. There are numerous other things that you can do, right? And maybe you have an idea about that. So this is your opportunity to write on your paper an invitation. You are invited to. And then go ahead. If this community is new to you, think about an invitation that you want to extend in your own community, with your family or with your friends or your coworkers or neighbors and people you don't like. You know what I mean? This is just an opportunity to what, Pam? Draw our circles wide, because that is the idea. So I'm going to give you the opportunity to be writing, and while you're doing that, our choir is going to sing one of my favorite songs. choir. That is number 323 in our hymnal. It's not one that we do hear a lot, I don't think, and I was so glad that the choir could sing it. And if I have a chance, I'll repeat some of the words in my short remarks, but you can also take a look at it in the hymnal. It's a beautiful, in the gray hymnal, it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. So how are y'all doing? Do you need some more time to write? Has everybody written? Yeah, you don't have to write, by the way. Oh, just so you know, this is a optional participation, okay? But we are going to collect them in a moment. But one of the things that we thought we would invite you to do, inviting again, is trade papers with someone, if you're comfortable doing that. Can you trade your paper with someone? Remember, this is an invitation. Pam's got such good ideas. All right? Good. And if you didn't write something, that's okay. Keep your blank paper and then just see it as an invitation. An open invitation. Woohoo! Yeah, they can turn in blank ones, right? Of course. Yeah, absolutely. So we're going to go ahead and collect your papers. Carolyn's going to give us some traveling music. We're going to be we're going to create our chain right now. So if you want to go ahead and we'll create.
Start over here, you start over there.
Okay, we're going to collect your papers. How does that sound? Able to come up, but if you're not able to come up, then we will find you. So if you are able to come up, this is kind of like our communion as we gather. This is a reverse communion. You're invited to dinner at Park Place with us. You're invited to bring a treat to coffee hour. You're invited to tell us your story. You're invited to be as wonderful as your dog knows you are. You are invited to write to someone in prison. You are invited to be kind to someone who needs help. You are invited to share your life experiences. You're invited to be more kind. You are invited to share a meal and stories. You are invited to attend the UU theology class. You are invited to relax and enjoy living and loving life to the fullest. You are invited to introduce yourself to someone at coffee hour. You are invited to get to know each other better and better. You are invited to a church activity. You are invited to give lots of high fives. Do it now. You are invited to give lots of high fives if it feels safe for you to do so, or you can do a fist bump. Okay, I like this. I don't know who did it. You are invited to party. You are invited to bring a goodie to coffee hour. 2 of them. Y'all, there's going to be a lot of goodies at coffee hour, isn't there? You are invited to meditate and breathe. You want to breathe right now? Oh, breathe with me, right? You are invited, y'all, you are invited to ask someone for help. You are invited to stay quiet. You are invited to take a UU leadership class. You are invited to coffee and conversation. Okay, y'all, you are invited to be you, just how you are. You are invited to pick up trash in the neighborhood. You are invited once again, I don't think Julia did this, to join the choir. No pressure, y'all. Who here sings? Oh, a choir, come on. You are invited to bring a treat. Did I do that one? All right. We are moving along here. You are invited to visit someone who cannot attend church. All right. Okay. I think what I'll do is I'm going to get the people in this line. You are invited to be kind and generous to others. You are invited to talk to someone new, take food to the Sunday coffee hour, contact old friends, spend more time communicating. 1 hour. That is very prescriptive. That's a good one. Are you going to do that? All of it. Hi, how are you? Okay, we got 2 here. You are invited to widen the circle, be a pen pal, and get to know someone in the Illinois prisons. We have a prison ministry here. Send a card to someone you haven't seen in a while. You are invited to bring a treat to church. I am expecting we are going to have a lot of treats this year. You are invited to sing and enjoy the service. You are invited to do something. It's signed, but I don't think she's here, which would be Michelle Obama. I know. Oh, there's more. Oh, good. These are our dear friends. You are invited to good health, to be loved, and be happy. You are invited to do something kind for someone. You are invited to recycle, reuse, reduce, repair, and refuse. Okay, this is the last one. You are invited to vote. You are invited to bring all of who you are to your life. You are invited to imagine the circle of connection and interdependence that we all share. You are invited to be your authentic selves. You are invited to know this beyond a shadow of a doubt, that you are loved. This is our beautiful chain, our beautiful circle of connection. And I think that it's not meant to be a one-off, right, Pam?
What?
It's not meant to be a one-off. A one-off? People can add to the chain.
Yeah, we could hang it up downstairs.
We're going to hang it up downstairs, and if you thought about something that you want to add, you can do that. Yeah. Do you think we can get it on our altar here? All right, if I get out of the way. She's like, yeah, we could if you get out of the way. Yeah, there we go. Look at that.
Just like the picture.
You want to see the picture again? Yeah. Yes, there it is. Just like the picture. We got it, y'all. We got it. Beautiful. Yes, congratulations. You created just such a beautiful reminder that we live in love through these practices. And it may seem like, some of these may seem like small things, but when we do them and they add up, we create that beautiful, beautiful circle of belonging. He drew a circle that shut me out. Heretic, rebel, a thing to flout. But love and I had the wit to win. We drew a circle that took him in. Is that a familiar verse to some of you? They drew a circle that shut me out. Heretic, rebel, a thing to flout. But love and I had the wit to win. We drew a circle that brought them in. These are cherished words written by Edwin Markham, a poet, an activist, and a universalist. It speaks to us of gathering the widening circle of love to break not the circle of enabling love, where people grow, forgiven and forgiving. Break not the circle, make it wider still, till it includes and embraces all living. Those are some of the words that the choir sang. A dear friend and colleague of mine, the Reverend David Miller, posted a reflection about ingathering to the colleagues, as we're all thinking about ingathering and showing pictures of our altars and sharing the things that we're doing as we have this really in our faith. We have our shared rituals of lighting the chalice and some of our shared days, and certainly ingathering is one of those shared days where we mark time. I was struck by what David wrote. In UU congregations all over the world, he writes, people will regather in an effort to live into, as best as we can, what we profess about placing love at the center of all we do. What a magnificent challenge. We are currently living in times baiting us not to love. The social and political atmosphere in which we travel insidiously tempts us to find fault, place blame, point fingers, and increase that which can tear us apart. And yet, we practice a faith, often imperfectly, because after all, we are human. But we continue to practice a faith where we're called to answer the question, what is the most loving thing I can do right now? David has been asking that question since he began seminary. I had the honor of being his mentor, and you know how mentor-mentee relationships go. We learn as much as we share knowledge, and that question of his is one that guides his ministry, and I think it can guide all of our ministries. What is the most loving thing I can do right now? Isn't that a challenge? He goes on, what an astounding challenge. What an unbelievably vital attempt. What an incredibly needed beacon for the future for all of us. As we gather this weekend to support each other in living this mission, may the light of our flaming chalice breathe life and love into every one of our congregations, into those who, by the very nature of this calling, have this great and wonderful opportunity to live into love these days, filled with so many struggles and so much possibility. He ends with, may it be so. And indeed, may it be so. This is this beautiful invitation into love. This is the calling of our time. This is the calling of our faith. And as I mentioned earlier, this is the theme for the year, living love through particular practices. As we've heard, the invitation is to widen our circle, to be wider in our welcome. And that means widening ourselves and our capacity. How large can we become? And by this, I don't mean how tall or how wide can we become. I mean, how can we as individuals in relationship grow in size when we expand our circle, when we draw it wide, when we ask how much can our circle hold? There is an implicit assumption that we are imagining circles that can expand, whose integrity we value and hold dear such that we do not want to break them, but rather we see them as places of enabling love, where people grow forgiving and forgiven, seen and known in all of who we are and called to our best selves. We have the capacity, as we heard in our story, to draw our inner circle wider and wider still when we encounter others and find within ourselves openness and flexibility. Process theologian Bernard Loomer wrote about the enlargement of ourselves that comes from understanding, perceiving, living from our place in the web of life. We're not interrelated, writes another, because there is a principle of love. There is a principle of love because we are interrelated. There is an aim, a creative aim within the web, including present in each and every one of us? How is this creative push to be seen and lived most fully? I invite you to take a moment and breathe with me, to go into that place in your body that is your center, your own circle of beingness, to connect with that which has widened the circle of yourself. How have you been enlarged in your life? How have you grown, changed, expanded who? Or if you are with us for the first time, I invite you to connect with those who and in your life that has opened you outside this place. Who has expanded who you are? I invite you to take a moment to connect to that place of width and depth. How wide is your circle within? What do you find there? Who or what has changed you? Can you imagine that your circle within could become wider still? Could embrace new ideas, new visions, new hopes, new dreams? In this sense, the circle of community is the invitation to draw the circle wide and draw it wider still. There's a relational power in this circle, in this interdependent web. We're more than the sum of our parts, and each of us and the institutions we support become richer and deeper, more colorful, and better able to widen even more, to hold this world with its ambiguity and its complexity. Certainly, there is complexity. Certainly, there is uncertainty and ambiguity. Certainly, there is a call for us to imagine widening our circle beyond ourselves, our neighborhoods, our country, to embrace all of the world, to embrace those who are suffering from war, occupation, and to imagine what it means as we live into that circle. There's a sense in which I love the idea of circle because we built the whole service around it, but I also do think of a spiral, that there's like places where people can enter that circle, and then the circle just embraces us all. We draw our circle wide, we make room so we can live our vision of a more just, a more beautiful, a more peaceful world where all are free. Where all are free. Where all are able to receive medical care and water and to thrive and to live. Can we imagine a circle that large? I think of the ministries that we do here. The prison ministry was lifted up several times. Animal ministry, UU the vote, racial equity, LGBTQIA welcoming, green sanctuary, religious education, small groups. All of these are invitations to grow, to expand and widen inner and outer. As you consider how you're enlarged, how you wish to enlarge, how large you would like your circle to be, I invite you continually into that invitation. Throughout the day, throughout the week, even though we're going to be practicing love through invitation, through the practice of living love through the practice of invitation for the month, I don't think we're going to stop inviting. Do you? No, I don't think so. I think we're going to make of ourselves an invitation and lift up the ways that we make the circle wider for all who are in need of healing and hope and peace and love and justice. And sometimes the capacity, I loved the wealth of invitations here, because there were invitations to action and there were invitations to be and to breathe. Because remember, as we widen the circle to hold more, beloveds, you are not holding the circle yourself. You are held in circle, and we are holding it together. And so there are times to be and to breathe. There's times to act. There's times to cook a meal. There's time. I love the one that said, ask for help. All of it becomes how we create and build and embody the beloved community, the not yet always coming into being community of justice and love and possibility. These are the words the choir sang. Break not the circle of enabling love where people grow forgiven and forgiving. Break not that circle, make it wider still, till it includes, embraces all living. Come, wonder at this love that comes to life where words of freedom are with humor spoken and people keep no score of wrong or guilt, but will that human bonds remain unbroken. Join then the movement of the love that frees till people of whatever race or nation will be truly themselves. Rise onto their feet, see eye to eye with laughter and elation. Join the movement of love that frees till people of whatever race and nation will truly be themselves. Rise up to their feet, see eye to eye with laughter and elation. Can you imagine? Can we imagine that future? No, that is actually a question. Can we imagine that future?
Yes.
Some people can. There's a quietness here. Can we imagine a future, a movement of a love that frees? Let's do it. May it be so. Amen. And blessed be.
We know that our financial contributions to this congregation and to our Share a Plate folks come from sacrifice and hard work. We are so grateful for this and commit together to ensure the funds we gather collectively do a greater good for ourselves and our world than they could have done alone. May there be an offering to sustain and grow the life and mission of this congregation. May we give in love and in hope. Please join in our offertory words. This church is made up of all of us. It is what we learn together, the work we do together, the fun we have together. It is what we share with one another, the people around us, and with all the world.
Invite you to join in our chalice extinguishing words. We extinguish this flame, but not the light, the strength, the warmth, warmth of our community, our commitment. These we carry in our hearts and share with all the world. And ultimately, what we are called to do, I think, is answer the call of love, where all are free. From the river to the sea, let us answer the call of love. And rise in body or spirit for number 1041. Go in peace, be makers of peace.